The Devil's Soul, Book 1, Chapter 3, Section 3, Phoenix, Arizona, 1939. Phoenix in that time was a motley array of stimuli for a California farm girl. Greta wasn't naive, but she had never lived this close to people unlike her, and I imagined some thrill tingling through her as she pondered the prospect, riding the Sunset Limited line that had just resumed travel to San Francisco all the way from New Orleans and back again. There is no limit to the sun save God, she wrote in her diary, ensconced in the cheap planks of her sleeping car, the car's varnish lacquer, a dominant odor like overdone cornbread, masking the glue's irritant essence noxious to the body's well-evolved immune system. It was actually two smells. The cheaper shellac, like her brother's breath, hot, not in a good way, and sugary at the edge of rot. Perhaps this is the smell of flesh, something I've never grown used to. It is a shocking part of being alive, and I like that shock for an instant, but it soon turns depressing. The smell of mortality, evoking fresh graves dug for people with no kin present, and abandoned root cellar can goods left behind by poor people who must have had good reason to flee without them. Greta's shock at being far from home, this far into a world crawling with danger and sin's delusion, matched maybe the dazzle of my incarnating each time it occurred. Only maybe, though. I can only piece together plausibly from my observations, imperfect despite their extensive nature. A mouse peeking out of its sawdust and mildew hole. She, I think, lacked the imagination to see how rich and cleansing to her rusty, rustic, ongoing mind's eye atmosphere this would be. She probably didn't see what could happen to her ambient worldview, pulsing with ramifying connotations, each dream unique across their pure permutational grid. These cities, when they first became electrified, and humans and me right behind them ascended hills to view their sprawling splendor, were like, I know this is a cheap simile, but I do this for me, not for you. A spread out naked array of curves, fluorescent in places where the human fluorescence occurs, aureoles and nerve nubs glowing. At 70 miles per hour, Greta felt a sensation at her bottom, shuddering at seeing the first light of the satanic city, incandescently beckoning against the ancient night, and which frightened more, the unseen within the darkness or the hellfire illuminating like daylight all that could go wrong for an 18-year-old in a big city sent to pursue devoutness among demons.